Hi. Okay, I'm live. Let me just put the link out there. For easy access. Oops. Hi, Chris. Oh, where's my phone? Oh no. Oh. I thought I was all ready as well. I'm not. My phone's not here. Where are you, phone? Got so much stuff around me as well. I can't get out. Where's my phone? Right, I've got to try and crawl out of here and find my phone. Oh, it's here. Oh, bloody hell. Found it. I found it. Okay, let's go on to Skype. Okay. Can I pick my nose? I'm a nose picker. I'm gonna do it after the camera is clear. Okay. Feel funny. Okay. So hello and welcome. I'm just gonna try. Sorry about this. I'm a finger picker. I need to pick my finger, not with tissue. It's really inappropriate. I know. Just didn't feel right. Okay. Okay. So yes, welcome to the broadcast. Yes, welcome to the broadcast. So I do this every Thursday at 1 p.m. and that's UK time zone. And you're welcome to speak on the chat box, or better yet, you can speak to me through Skype, either written or you can call in through Skype as well. And you find me on Skype through Rebekah Maroon. It's all in the box below this screen. You can see all the information of how you contact me to ask questions or whatever. I feel very happy to be here, to be doing this stream this afternoon. And the title of this stream is Oh yeah, switching back to yourself. Switching back to yourself. I may have used the same title before. I've been doing these videos for a number of years now. My son was 1 when I started. He's now 10, so I've been doing it a while. No, yeah, 1.5 he was. Kamala was just been born, maybe a few months old, so about 9 years. So yeah. Sorry to rehash the same titles. Although when I put the title, it's not kind of rehashed, it's really fresh. It's not going back in the mind, it's a fresh title. In that moment of writing it, it's really fresh and yeah. So what, welcome. Such a beautiful subject to talk about. Ooh! Such a beautiful subject. Um, oh, my feet are clapping. Yes, 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 yes. So what is, it's going to really annoy me, this strap. What is being spoken about? What is, sorry. What is this subject? So, so the majority of humans are lost in a dream, lost in their own dream. Every human has a particular dream, a particular story or dream, reality, you could call it. There are similarities, in the dreams. But the biggest similarity, you could say, is that it's a dream. So they're all dreams. They're all not true. And this dream is that I am a person. I exist. I am someone. I am an independent person. Life is happening to me. I am somebody in life. And I'm moving through time, moving in a linear fashion from the past to the future. And it will have various stories about who it is: male, female, black, white, Asian, poor, rich, good at this, bad at that, like this, don't like that. Different qualities, different stories, different experiences: older child, younger child, middle child, only child, broken family, a full family, all these different things it will have experiences of, and things that are unique to its particular story as well. And normally, for the majority of people, that's who they are. This story, this culmination of different things make up who I am. And the older the child becomes, the more and more it feels like that's more cemented in a way. Like it feels more and more real, more and more things are added on. Oh, this happened and this affected me, and all these different things are added on, and it becomes more and more cemented and more real and more permanent. It feels that way. I am this someone. I am moving through time. I am separate. I am an individual. And in a way, all those things are okay. They're just a part of the development of that human. But the crux of it is those things aren't held together as a person. Like, it feels as if you are all these things, and that's not true. And that's what's being pointed to. So maybe you are from a poor family, maybe you are from a rich family, maybe you are the younger or older sibling, maybe you are from whatever it is. That's relatively true in terms of the story. But what's being pointed out as this switch is that isn't who you are. That isn't who you are. That isn't a someone. That isn't really a someone. And so in non-duality, there's this pointing, to something else. Something else that isn't in that. It isn't your circumstances or your body or your background or your appearance or whatever. It isn't any of those things. Those things appear in it. but they aren't who you are. It's a pointing beyond that story, that limitation of you as a person, as a character, your traits, your preferences, your behaviors. It's a pointing to something that isn't confined into a someone. It doesn't have qualities. It doesn't have a boundary or a border or a limitation. So in a way, it's this opening beyond that mental storyline of you. It's an opening beyond that. And that's that resonance to that absolute freedom, to that boundlessness that doesn't have a name or quality. It's just free. It's just here, regardless of your behavior, your traits, your story, your experience. Beyond that, it's just here, free. Not judging, not remembering, not keeping score, not preferring anything. That's all from the human. This is free. It just is. So in the morning, when the mind wakes up and the story of you begins again, this story of this memory, this retelling of stories begins, this functioning begins. It gets turned on. But this already is. It doesn't go to sleep and wake up. It already is. It's free of that. You as a human appear in it. You wake up in it. You disappear in sleep in it. This is free. This never moves or changes and cannot not be. And so what's being spoken about is a switching back to that. A switching back to what you already are, which can sound very strange. But it's the most naturalist thing, because you already are that. That already is. It's just this dream of being someone that pops up. This illusion of you as an independent person that pops up. The simplest. Simplest. You can't get any simpler. Than to be what you already are. That already is. This already is. The problem seems to come, or the drama seems to come, with this mind-bound entity, this idea of you being someone, this energetic feeling as if you are someone, you are this story of you. Because this story of you is like a prison, a straitjacket. You're in a prison, and so the fighting and the struggling is coming from this sense of being in a prison. This trying to get out of what you are, out of this prison. That's where the struggle comes from. That's where all the confusion, all the striving and seeking comes from. Where all the suffering comes from. So you, this person, this struggle, this seeking, this isn't about you switching back to what you are. This is this seeing through this illusion of you, of this prison, of the reality of this. And that can happen through a mixture, probably a mixture of pointing to what you really are beyond this pointing back to this freedom, but also through therapy or whatever it might be to help to ease that prison, ease it, so it's not so intensely seeking, intensely suffering. Because it's often hoping that it will work its way out to freedom, and it won't. It's impossible to. This person who's suffering and seeking can't work its way towards non-duality, and that's the illusion, and that's the misunderstanding that the mind has. It believes it can work its way out if it just learns enough, if it just studies enough, if it just meditates enough, if it just learns non-duality enough, watches it enough, it's going to work its way to liberation, to freedom. But freedom it's not about you getting to it, which is so hard for the mind person to hear, because it's always about me. But that isn't for you, it isn't for the person. It's just free. That's why it's free. It's got nothing to do with individuality, nothing to do with a personal anything. It's completely impersonal, it's completely free. This isn't for you. Who would that you be? Who would this be for? Who would life be for? It's this radical movement or radical non-movement to that which already is. Free and boundless. Mike Bell. Hi, Kelly. Do we get a choice in anything? For example, do we get to choose what we eat? There is a choice, for example, in what you choose to eat. So often ideas can come up. Should I have lasagna? Should I have a sandwich? Should I have a cheese sandwich? Should I have a stir fry? And then a choice is made. There's imagining the taste of each one, the ingredients here for each one in the fridge, and the choice is made. One feels more right than the other. Yes, I'll have a cheese sandwich with crisps. I'll have a stir fry, whatever it is. The choice is made. So there does seem to be that appearance of choice. Yes, definitely. The human seems to choose. But what is often overlooked or not even contemplated is, where is that choice coming from? Where are those options coming from? So you could say the memories are from memory. So you've had it before, stir fry, you've had cheese sandwich before, you've had lasagna before, you liked it. So it could be a mixture of that, but ultimately, where are those things coming from? Where is that choice to have lasagna over a cheese sandwich? That impulse comes, that decision is made, and we believe that we are doing that. This independent person in here is choosing it, It's my will to choose lasagna. I'm someone in here operating the machine. I'm putting in lasagna. But where does it come from? Where does it come from? That choice, that impulse, that movement. So it isn't that you don't get a choice, you have no free will. It isn't really about that. That isn't actually what's being spoken about. What's being spoken about is who is the one that doesn't have free will and choice. Is there actually a someone there to not have free will? There's a difference there. And that difference is so massive. Because the mind may misinterpret it as, oh, I exist, but I have no free will. And that's not what's being said. That you is being questioned. You do or you don't. Who is this you that does or doesn't? That's the important part. This who. Key. Key. Yeah, key in French, and this is who in sign language, British sign language. Who. Key. Who. That's the illusion. That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. If it was about you not having free will, it would be quite depressing and quite like stifling. You're not free to do and create, and you can't. You have no free will. You can't choose. You can't. So I'm here, but I can't then do anything. It's a prison, but it isn't saying that. There isn't someone. There isn't someone. That's so different. There isn't someone. And then choice appears, decisions happen. But the question is who? Who? Qui? Qui est là? Qui est là? It's like crazy. It's like who? Like, yeah, right, crazy. Who? All languages point out the bizarreness of this I, this person. Who? Thank you for your question. So all these questions from the Seeker are just stories to make sure the illusion remains intact. No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. There can be like questions that are just coming out from the heart, just a genuine question that isn't about trying to protect the person and keep it intact. It depends. I suppose I just feel myself trying to work it all out with the mind. Yeah, that's the mind doing its thing. But the idea that you are in that, you are doing that, that's the suffering. That you are someone in the mind. You exist separate from everything, separate from the mind. It's so unfulfilling being separate from everything. Like you've lost your rootedness, you've lost your home. I'm not sure if it's a Western what's the word? A Western trait or a Western thing where the intellect and the mind becomes so much believed to be the answer. And so we're so invested in that, in the mind, in the intellect, believing that that's going to deliver us from evil in a way. If we invest and work hard enough in the mind, and the intellect will work it out and it will get there. Maybe in other cultures that aren't so westernized yet, maybe they have a deeper connection to or less of a connection to the mind, and so they don't feel as separate or as identified with that story of who they are. Maybe there's more seeking in having enough food or having enough I don't know, survival, physical survival, and it's more There's more attachment to that aspect, the body surviving, and less in the intellect. Whereas in the Western world, we have so much. There's no need to worry about surviving. We pretty much feel certain there'll be a supermarket open most of the night, probably, or we'll be there tomorrow. So then, what else is there to focus on and, and invest the energy in, other than the mind and the intellect? I shall work it out. I shall get there. What a projection. Is the freedom felt as an experience? If it was an experience, then it would be a temporary thing. You'd have it and you'd lose it. This is not an experience. What is being spoken about is beyond experience, beyond a feeling, a thought, an idea, any experience, bliss, pain, happiness, sadness, beyond any experience. If you believe or feel it is an experience, if you have an aha moment or a blissful experience and believe that is it, then when that isn't there, there will be a desperate seeking to get hold of the thing you believe it is, a feeling, experience. Just check it on Skype to make sure no one's ill. Don't think they have. No. You've probably been asked this many times, Kelly. Why do you think this incredible illusion of separateness is playing out? Why do you think this incredible illusion of separateness is playing out? So beautiful. It is. It just is. It just is. And that can maybe sound a bit satisfactory, but it's so beautiful that it is. It is. That's the answer. It is. We think it has to be a why and have an answer to the why question, but actually the answer is it is. It is. So beautiful. Oh, I have a Skype in. One minute. I'm answering my phone rather than on my camera. Hi, Gary. Oh, hang on. Let me just turn my camera off. Can you hear me? Oh, you're muted. Hang on. I think you're muted. Oh, I can hear you now.
Yeah. Sorry.
Hi.
I'm not used to Skype.
That's okay.
Hi. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
So I was just wondering. I don't know if you remember. I saw a video you posted, and it was something along the lines of kind of you had the awakening experience, and yeah, you kind of spoke about how it kind of like took some time for like your daily life, or maybe there was some sort of issues in your daily life, and it kind of took a while to kind of like start to get to a better place. I don't. Do you remember?
No, I don't remember.
It was like
which video that could be. I've got no idea.
I think you put it on Facebook, and it was just like it was just kind of saying, "Oh, I really want to say how great I feel like these days."
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I was just interested because there's like quite a lot. There seems to be a lot of people that like especially on YouTube, that kind of have these awakening experiences, but they seem like a bit detached, or like a bit cold and detached from like humanness. And if like they're very like, well, there's no one here, so how could like there be any like anything to improve or anything to work on? Seems to be quite a lot of that, but I don't know. I got the impression that you kind of acknowledged that it wasn't just everything's perfect afterwards, and then there's like nothing to do. So yeah, I was just interested what you meant exactly with it, or how it kind of looked.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't obviously speak for other speakers. Everyone's free to speak whatever they experience. But yeah, I feel like there can be stages where you kind of ignore not intentionally, but there's like this overriding of who you are as a human being. And that could be a natural part of this, because you have to in a way bypass that, because what's being pointed to is beyond the human, it is beyond the personal. But it feels here as if like this has to be whole. It can't be like split. That's still duality. And so here it felt like there was a movement to be whole in some way, like on every level, human, not human, fully like collapsed into everything. And so yeah, it did seem to take time. Could call it integration, or addressing some of my human difficulties. Yeah, but I just feel like this is like the only real truth is wholeness, and so it's not about ignoring a part of yourself or ignoring things. It's really integrating everything. Yeah, it just seems to take time for some humans for that to fully happen. But yeah, who knows?
Do you think it's maybe like a lot of emotions that you weren't willing to experience before, then afterwards there's like a willingness to experience them and process them?
Yeah, I think when it's personal, when you are someone and it's personal, it's very hard to go into all of that because it's so painful and it is so personal. Whereas when what you are is seen beyond that level, then it's okay to like let everything, if you like, come in, if you like, or come out. Yeah, come out, come in. Like it's because it isn't anymore to do with you, so it's just free. It's like life is playing this human fully, like it's letting the human be fully what it is. So there's no more need to hide or to avoid or to repress or suppress anything. It's more, there's no one stopping it all coming out, if you like. It's more free to express itself in all its different forms and conditions and flavors, and it's being authentically what it is. And that in part is this conditioned human being with its flaws and its behaviors and its ways of being. Is fully now free to be that.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think because normally you're trying to, as a person, you're trying to you're seeking for love, completion, to get there, and so you often try and you're often living in this mental space of trying to manipulate and trying to be a certain way to please others, to get love, acceptance, and all these things to belong. Whereas when that's not there, you're then free to just to be whatever you are without that need of seeking for something in return. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's interesting because some people don't acknowledge it, so it's like interesting to see people that do.
Yeah.
What else was I was gonna ask as well. There's like kind of there's like a recognition of what you're not, like in this kind of process, and then would you say there's like a strong recognition of what you are, or is it like more of just a comfort, like more of like a comfort with not knowing, or just a kind of state of just being completely okay with not knowing? Or would you describe it as like you recognize what you are?
I feel like it's a mixture of all of that. Like, so maybe initially there was a seeing of what I'm not, as you said. I know what I'm not, that I'm not that I'm not that, and then there's everything, everything. So in a way, you are everything. But then at the same time, you aren't. It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre and paradoxical, but I would say it's both of those things. You aren't, but you are. Empty but full. And for the mind, it's very hard because you want to pick one, left, right, good, bad, pick one. But you can't. It's not about the mind. It's beyond that, beyond that intellectual duality.
Yeah, I heard some people call it like a falling, or like kind of like a free fall, where you're just not grabbing onto anything. And I can kind of that like feels quite true to me. But then I've heard, like, I don't know, I think like Ramana or someone, or they kind of say like, oh, the self reveals is revealed, but it reveals itself. And then I'm wondering, like, oh, is there some big revelation, or is it kind of just this not grabbing onto anything, so you're just kind of never like never staking a claim to like, this is me.
Yeah.
Or
I don't see a contradiction in those two things, though. That they both seem equally valid.
Yeah, I get. Yeah. It seems like there is, but yeah, I guess it's just language, isn't it?
I don't know. Just they both just seem equally valid about this being free fall, this being freedom happening, but also this idea of how do you put it, the revealing of the self, or the revealing of what you are. Same thing here. It feels like it's the same thing.
I think maybe there's like an expectation of, for me, like, oh, some like something's gonna happen, but then like trying to imagine what that thing will be. But no, that's really helpful anyway. Thank you.
But what I will say is that I wouldn't believe what people tell you. So you hear people speaking about this, but I wouldn't necessarily believe it to be true. I would say this is more experiential. Just to confuse you even more. Like, it's none of that's true actually, and it's more experiential rather than what you've learned from other people, what you've learned from books, or what you've been told. It's more like they're just pointers trying to describe something, and it will become clear as this seemingly unfolds. Like it becomes very clear, but it isn't found in language or in descriptions. They're just merely pointing or describing something that can potentially happen.
No, I agree. Even things that I resonate with, like, a lot of the time it's after a kind of some sort of insight or some kind of thing. It's like, oh, that's what they were saying. Like, they explained it really well, but I didn't get it at the time. That's great. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for calling.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. Oh, we had a Skype. Yay. Where did I get to on the chat? Oh yeah. Why call it freedom? It feels a bit rude to move on without not acknowledging, but just feels a bit rude to, or wrong to, move on so quickly. I'll just let that caller just have the space to, I don't know. It just feels wrong. Maybe the respect, the respect to the caller for calling in. Okay, so why call it freedom then? Why call it freedom then? Because it's freedom. Because it's free. You call freedom you call freeness freedom because it's free. It doesn't have limitations. It doesn't have qualities. It's free. That's why you call it freedom. Freedom. Oh, you wrote earlier. You wrote, is this freedom felt as an experience? Or why call it freedom then? Yeah, it's freedom. Freedom. Because maybe you believe that only experiences are worthy. Only if you can qualify and quantify and box and have and own is it worthy of anything. The fact that this isn't ownable or knowable or havable to the mind is then it's unworthy. Why call it freedom? It's nothing. Why call it, what's the point in it? I can't use it. I can't make my life, my human life better through it. Then why call it freedom? Because you're never going to make your human life into freedom. You can improve your human life. You can improve your physical health, your emotional health, your mental health, your physical life. Get a better job, get a partner, get divorced and be single. You can improve your human life. But you can't get freedom as a human, as a body, mind. The death of the body, mind is inevitable. So you can't get freedom as this body, mind. This body, mind has limitations to it. You can't live forever. So that's why that's why the human experience isn't freedom. Freedom is beyond that. And that's why it's called freedom. Absolute freedom. That's truly what's living. You think you are living, and that's your problem. So beautiful. Okay. Maybe we end it there. Thank you. Thank you for all the questions and for the interaction and for the Skype call and for viewing. Yeah, so I shall see you, my holy top. Just this arm is holy. Oh. Okay, so see you next week. Lots of love. Bye.